I don't dive, I don't flip, but brother, I know drip.
Ooh! That's my bestie. Oh, I was like,
Hold up. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all here with us.
Come enter.
Y'all been here with us.
Come enter the building.
300 episode.
Yeah.
Big dick status.
Oh. Yeah.
Final boss status. We got one of our friendly friends.
A friend of the Jobbertears podcast.
Chisel the Dynasty here.
Chisel.
And these niggas are gonna see black faces today. Young Nick nigga shit. My pops was an immigrant. All of our pops were immigrants.
Crazy.
We back here. I don't drive yet, but I will.
You will not.
Uber everywhere.
You fixed it to be 40, but you don't drive.
I don't give a fuck.
Nigga, you too old to not know.
We here. I love y'all. They didn't like us. They didn't want us to be here.
Yo.
They didn't want us to be here.
Hell yes, I'm a problem-filled test. It's only getting worse. I swear I'm getting money. I just hope you getting yours. Killing niggas solo, so you know I'm getting more. Now that's young Gambino.
Thank you.
This is for that real shit. This is for that east side. This is for my bad girls. This is for them good guys. This is for my grandma. This is for that west side. This is for them niggas talking shit on the west side. Damn, I feel good. You ain't feeling nothing.
Is the one.
So okay. Let me get this off before we get the proper intro in. All right. So we're gonna say this right now. 300 episodes.
Oh, man.
They think we're gonna be here.
Nah.
No.
Over 1 million people coming to viewing parties. I said that.
Niggas.
Viewing parties.
I got my toes on, niggas.
Hold up.
I got my coat on, niggas.
Hold
I
up.
got my shades
Niggas got
on,
shades on in
nigga.
here because we did this. We did this.
For celebration.
Hold on. What we doing this year? Jobber Slam 4.
Let me give you a throwback video of one.
It wouldn't be appropriate for me to start the show. Everybody give a hand to Jobbertears podcast.
So listen up. We got love for everybody. Every single body.
No.
And if you don't fuck with us, fuck you too. Fuck
that's
you.
okay.
That's what Jizzle Adonis just said.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. But the people who got love for us, we got love for you.
No,
now I'm gonna I'm gonna give some love because we lost somebody in the community. We'll get to that soon.
Want me to drop it now?
Not
No.
yet. Not yet.
A little bit.
In a little bit.
Let's show niggas the growth, B. The growth. Episode 1.
Episode 1. Pilot episode.
That was Sir Wilkins' birthday. That was his actual birthday.
Shout out to Nicholas.
Yes.
Yeah, Nick. Rob was there.
And
Maurice was there.
The skin.
Ooh. Look at that skin now.
You see that coat, niggas?
Woo.
You see that coat?
Nigga said, you see that.
And of course, the original crew.
Yeah, shout outs to Leo.
Shout out to Leo.
Really one of the pioneers of our beginnings of the Jobbertears podcast. Like really, he took that role serious. Like I'm talking about, he would come through rain, shine, no job, half-ass job, babies, no babies. Like
yeah, 2 of them. Yeah,
the level of
actually, like he's doing okay now.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
he lives in the Bronx now.
I know. Yeah. I'm happy for him. No, welcome all to the 300th, not 1, not 2, but 300th episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR.
Fuck these niggas!
Oh my God, Sir Wilkins.
Fuck these niggas!
First of all, Darnell, you are a menace,
like T
and you know damn
you look
well
like a water buffalo nigga. Water buffalo ass nigga. Shout out to Shantice for that bar. Water buffalo ass niggas.
Yo, I wish
shout out to Stephanie Hardy.
Shout out to Stephanie Hardy.
Shantice. Shout out to Stan Michaels.
Shout out to Stan the man.
Michael Boston. Shout out to my nigga Stephanie Hardy once again.
Yes,
they
indeed.
hating on you, ma. Fuck them.
Shout out to Backstage.
Love your podcast.
Shout out to the shop.
Only Keeks in the building.
Shout out to Keeks. So proud of you, sis. I know time is ticking, but
Fuck
so
these
glad.
Fuck these
I'm shocked. I'm shocked you didn't come in with a whole flag that said "fuck these niggas." But like in the typing of how you would say it. So like, imagine a flag that'd be like "fuck these" and then mad ease and then niggas.
Could fly it over Lincoln Financial Field like that damn pilot thing. They were flying something. Pay your workers. What's going on? We trying to watch the show.
I thought it was WWE
Me
sending
too.
a message. So I kept telling Michael, I was like, yo, what is it in the fucking sky?
Mhm.
And then when we saw it, we were just like, man, it's not even wrestling related.
Right, got nothing to do with
What
that.
the fuck?
Somebody protesting in the middle of the biggest wrestling show of the
What
year.
the
Like, what are we
hell? But no,
Y'all see another throwback?
thank you. Sure. We're here for a good time.
To start off the first round, one woman will make it from each match the finals. And I hear that.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. We were just talking about tones too. That was a good jacket right there.
Yo,
got
I
another
bought
throwback
that.
for y'all.
I bought that jacket in Houston.
I
Actually,
got
at
another
Vintage
throwback
Shop.
for y'all. I got
I
another
actually
throwback
bought
for
that
y'all.
there.
Another throwback.
I don't know. But anyway, so Terry Apollo. Huh? I'm not here for the talk. Yeah. What up, B? The ring is right there. No. We can do it right there. Jobbertears, bitch.
Those are good times. Shout out to Ray in the building. Respect the craft. I was blessed to be on his show last night talking about Battle Club Pros. Let's go. So shout outs to him for having me on. I believe some of the clips are up now. So make sure to follow Respect the Craft. That's the most important part.
And also don't forget, so Wilkins, he was on
T, how was that?
Killed It.
How was that?
So, do you guys want to get a review, or do you guys care?
All right,
No,
let me
you
say
can
from
tell
my point of
me.
view. No, I've heard you. So like,
I've been in Passover.
I was in the crib,
dungeon,
right?
so like I haven't watched anything.
I was in the crib, right? Making sandwiches though, right? Ooh,
Sandwiches,
ooh.
like
Had a
multiple.
nice and toasty. Ooh, delicioso. You know, us Haitians love sandwiches.
Yeah, we do. We do. We do.
Especially when they're toasted.
Yeah, we
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
gotta
We
be
love it.
toasted. Gotta
So
be
like how
toasted.
I'm making my sandwiches, sandwiching it up. Next time I get a call from my boy that I used to work with. He said, yo, JD for NY? When I saw Jobbertears, I was like, oh my God, I don't know which one's which. When I saw your brother, yo, dang, y'all doing it big. Listen, it just shows you people do not be watching you until you get a cosign from the palm-headed people. Talk about, oh yeah, you don't always knew. I was like, bro, we had 4 events. I told you this though, son. I know, but like, I didn't know that y'all get down like that, but I'm paying attention now.
That's hilarious.
And the comments during there, you better keep them, son. I like the energy. Yeah, JD for NY shook like a deer in the headlights.
Wait, so what happened?
Because I brought nigga and
Son, JD for NY, you know the how that he be dominating. You probably don't know this, but like he be dominating the conversation because like no one can test him. He feel like he's the king of the kings.
Everybody alpha till you run into an alpha.
That
You
bars.
may be a king though, son. You nothing to your empire right
Fact.
there, P.
Drop some epice on that ass.
Yeah,
peace.
Oh my God.
Great guy though. Great guy.
Great
so
guy. Great guy.
there's a little controversy around him.
Okay, yeah.
So suppose he said the N-word one time.
Oh my.
I mean,
Pull up the tapes.
So niggas threw tapes at me.
Damn.
But he said, it was weird because he was like, yeah, I don't mean to be offended, but he said the N-word. I was like, damn, I don't know if I could do this. So I spoke to him. Nothing but love. Because he didn't need me. Because technically he didn't need me.
No, you don't.
And I'm gonna tell you this. For people who understand this analogy I'm about to tell you, that nigga was like the Drake stimulus package to me.
The nigga said he was
I
the
think he gave my #1 song.
Yeah.
Like we like J. Cole of the wrestling community.
Yeah. Yeah.
People who fuck with us, fuck with us.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a tribe, a cult.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Yeah.
Now I think he's more Kendrick.
Oh no.
Because you get more awards.
Slightly. But I ain't calling people out. I gotta play I play the background.
You do. So whoa. Except for Joe Bonnie. What's the dude name from NFL? Like who took your go to the afterlife? Not afterlife, to the shadow realm.
Oh, it escapes me.
What's his name? He made a
there was
video about
somebody.
it.
There was somebody.
It was from the ESPN, something like that.
I think it was Emmanuel Ocho. I
Yeah,
think he had
and
said
I-
that.
Oh, that's the same nigga that Amanda
Acho,
Seals
yeah.
was just talking
He
about.
said that?
No, he had did the baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit for people getting stiff-armed. He's like, yo, I got receipts back to 2018. I'm like, great, I got 2017, pussy. So then I pulled up the tapes and everything.
How'd you talk to him?
No, I had to we were doing like a back and forth on Twitter, but then when he saw it, he acknowledged me. So I'm like, all right, perfect. So afterwards, because I like to end things cordially. So after, it's like, oh, well, my bad, I didn't know. I see you, champ. So I'm like, cool.
He knew.
Give me your the plug to where you getting your suits, and I go grab some suits. I like looking, somewhat dapper. But
He knew.
it was the end of that. But I think he knew. I think he knew.
These niggas knew out here. But back to that. So I went on the show.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, a couple niggas did hit me up.
So they were like, "Are you sure?"
So I'm not gonna lie to you. I went to a couple niggas that I know that I trust. Y'all niggas don't even care what I do half the time. They're like, yeah, nigga,
because you don't say nothing till after.
That's not true. Yeah, like if you say
their
that,
philosophy is
if I don't know,
that's their philosophy. That's why I was like, I believe these niggas.
You know what's crazy though? I feel like that's more of a philosophy, like here, like in live and in color, like with all of us. Like, don't say some shit that's gonna get us canceled in this moment. Right. Like, if you said some shit outside of here, I'm not gonna trip off it because it's either gonna be provoked. Or that's just really how you feel. So like, I'm not gonna do that. But if I don't know what you're doing, then I can't be like, I can't give a fuck.
So I was just like, I bet. Let me go. So I hit up some key people within the community, the Black wrestling community. One of them, you guys know personally, that I've had. I used to slap bellies with, and ejaculated her. No longer do that. Oh my gosh. So I hit her up. I said, yo,
I'm not doing this today.
I said, yo, this is what I'm about to do. The lovely lady who's very prominent within the community, she's like, listen, I'll get off Twitter for 3 days if there's backlash. Because it only lasts for 72 hours. I said, okay.
It does.
So I hit up another good brother from the community. Everybody, he's I'll even say the name. It's Cam. I hit up Cam.
Oh, shout out to Cam.
I hit up, Cam. Seahawk, he's on Twitter.
Seahawk. No,
you seen the light skinned nigga before. You see him. Maybe. He's big on wrestling Twitter and whatever, especially the Black community. So I hit him up. I said, yo, listen, I'm about to do this. What do you think? He goes, I ain't got no problem with it. I think he's playing a character. I said, okay, cool. So the big homie who's into that, who's in the culture, and the chick who I've been with,
gave you the approval.
Gave me what I needed to hear. These two always see my vision. So I know I'm good.
Yeah. He on that part, he does know that.
So I'm good. Ain't nobody else hit me. So behind the scenes, we pulled the curtain real quick. I'm in a group chat. They didn't hit me up about it until the day before. I said, hey, what's up? They go, why are you doing this? I said, listen, JD from NY has always been respectful to me.
Yeah.
And always been a good dude to me.
Yeah.
Never disrespected me any type of way. Any type of way. Nah. So now I'm pulling the curtain back even more. I hit him up because I know he didn't have a co-host.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to expand what we do.
Right.
And always trying to talk to new people. So he said, listen, I'm going to have rotating co-host for a little bit. I'll get back to you. He hit me up, and guess what he said? He said, y'all good. I love what y'all do. I love the energy.
Well, thank you.
He said, if you bring that energy, we golden. I said, in my head, I didn't say it to him. In my head, I was like, nigga, energy's been brought. The guns is out. But fast forward, people in the group chat were just like, nah, he a horrible human being.
But with some horrible.
Hold on. He's this and that. And I was like, I see where your point, but he's never disrespected me. And we've worked together at House of Glory. Does he have crazy takes? Yes.
You don't.
So do I. So do them. And so do you.
You don't.
We've all said some wild shit. Then he had a compilation CD of him saying obnoxious bigotry shit. I went through it. There was an N-word that was said. I later talked to him about it.
I was gonna say, did you ask her?
Yeah, we later talked to him about it. So, and then out of the group chat is like about 5 or 6 people. I told them, out of the 6, 5 were just like, listen, if you cool with this This is great.
That's it.
We're just trying to look out for you because you have a public image.
Mhm.
One person said he's a piece of shit. Fuck him. He ain't gonna change. His image is never gonna change. So I said, all right, let me take this jump. I'll take the hit if it's really gonna be a bad situation. I get on the show, and I want to say something.
Thank you, Steph.
I want to say something is the fact that I got on the show. Before I went on the show, people were hitting me up from our community about him. Jay Troy hit me up.
Oh, shout out to Jay Troy.
We all know Jay Troy.
Fam.
Shout out to Jay Troy, big family of the show. And he was just like, yo, I'm so excited to watch this when you on there. I watch it weekly. There's a black man saying this.
A lot of black people watch the show.
Another couple black men who I didn't even know watch his show
Yeah.
hit me up about it.
Yeah. Hype.
So I said, they was like, I'm hyped to see you on this. That's, to me, that was my biggest indicator. It was okay.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I never want to bash our community. I'll say dumb shit about certain wrestlers sometimes, but it's always through love, never through visceral venom.
Right.
Like some people react to when you talk about Swerve, bitch ass nigga. But
he deserved more, and we'll get on that. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
We'll
But
talk about that.
I knew it was okay because it was my community didn't say anything crazy. Nobody was angry about it. So when I look at things that I do outside of this, I look at it for myself, but also look at it for this team that I'm on, and also look at it for the community. If it's something crazy, nah, we can't do that.
What's the craziest thing that we could have done? Like in 300 episodes. What was crazy?
I felt that honestly, when we real,
What?
no consequence. What I'm about to say.
When we had Joe?
From
Listen,
Warriors?
that,
Yeah.
I really thought that he was gonna sell us out. Once you went to Complex.
Oh, it's deep.
Oh.
We're on the couch right now.
Oh.
You thought I was gonna sell us out?
Hear me out.
Ooh.
Hear me out.
He been holding on to that for a little bit there.
It's been 2 years almost. Almost a year and a half.
Hear me out. Just hear me out. I never thought that you were gonna change your stripes, but I thought that it was making an offer that you can't refuse.
And then leave us?
And like
Somebody, hello?
Hello? I'm recording. It looks beautiful. I'm recording.
Shout out to Jen.
It looks beautiful.
before I continue with that one,
I was trying to figure out where she was at. I was
before
like,
I continue
girl,
with that one, let's take a nice memory lane break.
Happy birthday!
Thank you for
Let's work for her.
Jackson that made her in-ring return last week at Breed Combination
Shout out to her.
Wrestling.
So talk about the Complex deal.
This nigga said, I didn't forget what you just said.
It wasn't on no shade. I was proud of you. I was proud of you.
He
But it was-
just thought that would have been the end of
No,
the
it
podcast.
wasn't that. It was like it was one episode when like you had on it was one episode. I think that you had
Like,
on what episode you had? You had Athena. And the way that you took, I was like, dang, it took a turn like this where like, dang, he got it. Dang, he might leave. But in the meantime, it was just
What did I say with Athena? That made you
It probably was how you interviewed
how you
her.
had interview her and everything.
You probably
like
thought
that.
he went corporate.
Yeah. I was just like,
So do you want to pull the curtain?
hold on.
I'm gonna pull the curtain after you're done.
Feel me? I wasn't upset, but it was more like dang, I'm gonna miss doing this because like how that knowing what's gonna happen is you might transition me to more of a super background person, and knowing Janelle, she's gonna be good regardless because like everyone loves her. But when it comes up to me though, I'm looking like, dang, this was my third place, my fourth place. This was a transition that allowed me to be me. If people don't recall who I was when niggas let me episode 1, I was a total mess. I was out of shape, everything. My skin was ashy. So I felt like, dang, I was
Just buried himself.
Yo,
no, but like how that I had to be that person become the person I am
but he
today.
said the glow up is real.
The younger brother.
Right. So I was like,
Yeah.
Nigga said, don't own me.
right. I was like, dang, so it is what it is though. he's still keeping with the family. I'm gonna go with him, but like, I don't want to be in the background. I
Right.
like what we doing.
So-
You don't want to miss what you have with your brother.
Yes,
That's what it
So-
is.
And Janelle and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
So
That's touching.
Yo, I love his honesty because
Yeah,
like
that's-
I never knew that. So
Right.
that's
very,
interesting.
that's very
So-
touching.
So let's talk about. So since we're going down memory lane,
Mhm.
the deal with Complex, and I'll open up. If whoever sees this. The deal with Complex was in the works for mad long,
Mhm.
and the pandemic fucked it up.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So it all started with a DM from a producer because I'm the in my life, and this is just me personally.
Mhm.
Nobody comes to me,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
That makes
Absolutely, yeah. That's
So-
how, yeah.
I've never been the one
That
that,
makes sense.
shit falls in my lap,
Mhm.
even though it seems like it for a lot of people. I've had to bust my ass.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know that about me. They think, oh, this shit just comes easy. A couple things, and this is my solid belief. I ain't an ugly nigga, and I ain't mad pretty. So when you are an average nigga,
Yep.
you got, and I also
Yeah.
ain't tall.
Mm-hmm.
When you a 5'10" nigga that looks like Wilkins and is dark skinned, you chisel, you know this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, it's the same. I got the same experience, man.
So you don't get pretty privilege, and you don't get ugly nigga privilege.
Nigga said, I'm just here. I'm just here.
Am,
Right.
am I making sense, gentlemen?
Yeah, that's a
I'm
fact.
just
That's a
present.
fact.
Yeah.
Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Middle of the road. So
No,
you
I
can
lie.
live, you can do the average, you'll be fine.
Mhm.
But you got to work 3 times as hard to get 10.
With
Right.
basic cable, pretty.
Yeah. Like we're some regular niggas.
Right.
But
That
you
nigga
know,
said
difference that
basic
help
cable.
both of y'all because y'all in shape. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if I see y'all on HBO specials.
No, but the thing
HBO
about
shows.
it,
The in shape can only take you so far.
It-
It's because there's charisma.
But
that
y'all
you
got
have to
the whole
build-
package. That's
Yeah, but
what.
all of that is just an additive. If we was just walk into a room 10 out of 10 situation, we wouldn't almost need all
no,
of that.
yeah, and
Wow. I
so
didn't see that.
also you talking to a nigga with ADHD. I have really bad ADHD. I'm a nigga that grew up with a speech impediment.
Mm.
Horrible. You know how bad it was.
Yo, it
both
was
of us,
so
yeah.
funny because Michael's baby mom, she said, the guy with the glasses. So when I told her that I was like, you know, he remembered you from high school. She said, the guy with the glasses, the one that was a loner. And I was just like, yeah, he's told me that was his experience in high school.
You know what was funny in high
So,
school?
yeah.
I knew all the cool kids.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was friends with all
Yep,
the cool
yep.
kids.
Yep.
And
Me
I will
too.
always
Me
say
too.
this.
Nigga
Out of
said
all
basic
my
cable.
friends got all the hoes.
Now you
And
do.
I was the
Holeless.
screech,
Songs hoe.
the screech of the Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Just without the grades.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because my ADHD was bad. I just had to work out it. So what I'm saying is that to go back to the Complex thing, I DM'd the producer from Complex.
Mhm.
I said, hey, thanks for the follow, because they followed the Jobbertears page.
Oh,
Right.
thank you.
I said, thanks for the follow. He's like, yo, I like what you guys are doing here. But at the time, he wasn't working for Complex, working for something else.
Right.
But a nigga like me does research on people. I just looked through the pages of rant. This is when we had like 500 followers on Instagram. Now we have like 10K plus.
Right. Congratulations.
And
Thank you,
our
thank you.
engagement wasn't that high. So I DM'd him. I was like, yo, hey, like what you doing? He's like, yo, I've never seen nothing like this. Black people talking about wrestling. And at the time when we started, there was like maybe 2 other
It was a
black
handful.
wrestling
It was a
podcasts.
handful, like
We were
in
like-
one hand.
We were like the first.
Yeah.
So he goes, I like what you guys are doing. He said, yo, after Thanksgiving, let's talk. This is around November.
Mhm.
I'm a follow up on nigga. I'm following up.
He sure
So I
does.
followed up. We met because he was going to create the show on his own with some budget money that he can get.
Mhm.
We all met with them,
Oh yeah, him.
but he really came a liking to me.
Right.
So he was just like, yo, cool, everything was great. Then he gets a job. He starts working for Complex as some content creator, head of content or whatever, producer shit. So he's like, yo, I can't bring your whole team on board, but I fucks with what you were doing and what you got going on. Maybe down the line we could finagle something.
Mhm.
So this is like a month or 2 months before COVID. I'm going back and forth with them because it takes a while to produce shit.
Yeah.
Like in the real, like, because we put out content every week. If we want to do a new show, you just turn your camera on.
Yeah.
But big companies take months and months.
Right.
So me and him are going back and forth, talking about co-hosts, talking about that. So he ends up, we have a meeting. He's like, yo, I got somebody to be your co-host. I said, who? It was Kaz. You know who Kazim?
Real life Kaz.
Real life Kaz.
He's
Kazim
been on Fragrant 2 podcast.
Oh, yeah.
The black dude.
Yeah.
I said, Kaz, Kazim? He's like, yeah. Because I used to watch Flagrant 2, and I know of him. And you know, there's people within our circle we all look at and we're like, yo, I want to get to that level.
Right.
In a more like, not a hater way, but like motivation.
Right. Right.
So it's me and him in the room. And what's crazy, one of the producers in the room is from Black Wrestling Podcast. It was Cal.
That's my man's.
So Cal's in the room with us. I didn't know this nigga, but he knew of me kind of ish. And he knew of what we did. So I was like, okay. That's when it was a little bit of like, niggas is watching, but not watching. So we get in the room. Everything is going great. We setting up certain things. But this is pre-COVID.
Right.
This is like a month and a half before COVID hits. Like hits. So SS Southwest by Southwest, they were having their festival. Kaz was supposed to host it. So that week we couldn't do the in-studio work. So,
and that probably was the last week niggas could have did anything.
So I'm gonna get to that. So we couldn't do in-studio work.
My bad.
But it was funny because we supposed to do in-studio work. Cal's like, yo, not this week because I got to do Southwest by Southwest.
Right.
He texted the group chat. He's like, yo, I don't have to do it. It got canceled because of the COVID situation. I'm going to come through. New York City gets shut down.
Yeah. But shout out to Kaz though, because as we are celebrating episode 300, Kaz was
episode 200.
And he was the 100th episode. He was our guest on the 100th. That was our last in-studio episode.
200 episodes ago.
Wow.
Was our 100th episode was with Kaz, and he was remote, but we were live. That was our live in studio because then the city officially like shut down. Gotham. Shout out to Gotham. We really wouldn't be having the episodes we've had probably from episode like 75 to now 300. Gotham Podcast Studios has been a family, has been a big support system of the Jobbertears podcast. Right. So I do want to thank them for giving us a home, because everyone, that's the one thing I had told them in the beginning. After our like first year, we were just like, because we were in a small room in like a Pilates studio type of situation. And I told the boys, I said, listen, if we're gonna really do this, the audio got to get better. I said, if you want me to be Angela Yee in this bitch, I need a studio.
So
then he found Gotham.
Side note, speaking of the sound thing, I don't know if anybody knows who Ian Schwartzstun is.
He knows who that is, from the Joe Buttons.
Joe Buttons.
He's Joe Budden's manager. I will always have love for Ian. I emailed Ian, who is Joe Budden's manager, who manages the Joe Budden podcast. I emailed him 1 year. I said, hey, this is my podcast. Can you check it out? Give me some feedback. He emailed me 30 minutes later. He said, hey, I'm listening to it. Y'all need to get into a studio. This is around the same time she said this. So this is like God working.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, shout outs to Ian. I will always have love for Ian. He motivates the shit out of me. He's like, bro, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, stuff of that nature. So the complex thing, because my goal was to be kind of like Joe Buttons. I want to get to that level of success. So I was like, I got a complex deal coming up. Nigga, I'm hype. So then the team at Complex like, we're still gonna record.
Right.
We got to do a proof of concept. And I was like, all right, cool. But in the back of my head, I was like, if I get this Complex deal, it's going to bring up Jobbertears. Oh, we lit. We lit. So we record the entire time up until WrestleMania, every week, to do proof. Okay, we do some. We did a lot of what's the shit called? Like we did a lot of remote recording, virtual recording. We did WrestleMania. Remember WrestleMania with the 36 with the when they did Boneyard and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Firefly Funhouse match
with my white toes out. Absolutely, absolutely.
So we continue. We do
my
it.
Day off.
We do it, and then
y'all gonna get the.
So what Complex has to do is sell shows,
right?
To basically sponsors. They make a show, but they don't pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say your Sprite, Janelle is, I don't know, Nike. They'll go, hey, we'll throw some ad dollars. You'll throw some ad dollars. Here's your show. So the show, it was hard because this is COVID.
Right.
Ain't nobody buying.
Ain't nobody putting their money into nothing.
Ain't putting money into. So we lay low for a little bit. Then the beauty thing about this, me having this podcast and being with these two, the relationships behind the scenes we have cultivated.
Yeah, that wasn't, and
it's always been a thing for me, the fact that we've been able to, hey, Chisel Adonis does this. Now I'm gonna bring you over here. You gotta connect with Chisel Adonis. You're gonna put some bread in Chisel Adonis' pocket. You put bread in your pocket. So things are going well, but the show can't get sold because it's COVID. COVID's finally over. Shit starts opening up. They have an idea of an in-person recording. So I call up House of Glory. There's like, Kate Wilkins, can you find us a ring? I was like, I got you. We go to House of Glory to record. I like to keep things, what I do, secret. Keep things separate. So I'm at House of Glory, the school that I train at.
Yep.
Everybody's looking at me like, who is this motherfucker? Because there's cameras all over. We have a full team. I hired my homegirl to do wardrobe. Like, it's like, who is this guy? Because I don't talk about anything that I do outside. They know I have a podcast, but then they don't know. So we recording everything. The sizzle reel is fire. Still not sold. Whatever. Things are going well. I started a new job. I'm moving up in the job. They still keeping me in contact. So the one thing about big companies, they'll keep an IP, which is called an intellectual property. They'll keep it. So maybe it won't work here, but it'll work somewhere else. So Spotify had this new program called Spotify Live. So basically you listen to shows live, like a recording, like it's like radio, but on their app, and it's live. Now, a couple of months before, I had spoken to Kat. I saw him at Comic-Con. He had spoken on a panel. One of the chicks I was on the panel was chicks I used to slap bellies with. So I had to show up for that.
Horizontal activity.
We used to slap bellies, and I used to fill it up. But anyways, so we there, and I'm talking to Kaz. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. He's like, well, he just signed with The Ringer. He's like, maybe I could do it. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I had mentioned Alex, Queen of the Ring, to one of the producers. I was like, yo, she's dope. Maybe she could be the third host. Then a couple months later, the show gets sold to Spotify. I end up on Spotify with Complex. And then I ain't gonna lie, they're trying to pay me some cheap shit. I had to call a dude I went to high school with, did client relations for Complex. And I had to call him directly. Like, yo, what's going on with this pay? I can't do this. This doesn't make sense. He was like, I'm going to take care of you. They raised it. Shout out to him for that. His name is Anthony. Shout out to him. He's an amazing guy for doing that. Long story short, we finished it off. And my whole vision was, I get this, we all get this.
Right.
So I understood where he was coming from to answer his question, but that was never my intention.
The moral of the story is bitches are still here, live in color.
300 episodes.
300 episodes says, wait, real quick. Can you scroll back up to the donation? I do want to give them a quick shout out. The trash around my plastic. Thank you, my good fellow. So I gotta ask what happened with after PLE interviews. Why haven't you gone back after calling out?
So let's talk about that one. They actually really liked me, but it was when the last time I did Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. So I'm gonna tell everybody this, and this is the one thing I like about this podcast. We're fans first.
Absolutely.
Right. So Royal Rumble, you had two choices at media. You sit on the floor or you sit in the box, or you sit in the media box. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Niggas was on the floor.
I wanted to sit on the floor. Right. So that's why I didn't do
the first time. That was my first time floor experience too. So it was really interesting.
I enjoyed myself. And the thing about it, like,
we got both experiences because we was on the floor for a majority of the show, and then the men's row when we was in the suite.
We in the suite. So they give us expensive ass seats.
Yeah, no. Shout outs to WWE and the people that we know at the E that always supports us and takes care of us.
Yeah, because we built. That's why I said we built relationships.
Right.
So a lot of times, the reason why I went to my first WWE like WrestleMania, which was I think is one of the greatest when Stone Cold
was
came
the Dallas
back.
one. We were in Dallas.
Because the relationships I had built up working with Complex. And we did an episode with Liv Morgan. And the guy was like, I love what you guys are doing. Hey, come to WrestleMania on me. So, but fast forward, that's why I didn't go back. And then the last Mania, I had 2 viewing parties.
You know, everybody was busy. So, you know, it's not to say that won't make a return. There are a few other PLEs coming up.
So I might even be in Canada in July.
Hotel book. So never know.
So, but the thing is, for me, it was just like I like wrestling.
Yeah. Right.
This media stuff is a hobby that we like and it's done well for us, but we are fans first at this shit.
Yeah. And I think that's the one thing that's always like kept us grounded in that sense where we've always been like, but we love the game. We love the business. So, all right. So let's get into talking about some wrestling. We came off of AEW's first Dynasty pay-per-view. God damn. First Dynasty pay-per-view this past Sunday. So shout out to everyone that came out and was at Legends this past weekend. We was there to the crack of dawn. So no, it was. Let's talk. Well, you left like probably halfway through.
I watched at the crib.
Okay. Okay. Good. Let's talk about it.
So, who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
Actually, you know what? Let our guests go
regarding
first.
Swerve.
What are your thoughts on Swerve?
The first thing that comes to your mind when you see that now the current
niggas
AEW
is a nigga
world champion from Tacoma, Washington.
Why you gotta put that on there?
I'm just saying.
Why'd you put that sauce on there?
I'm saying. Where you from? No.
But big dogs, but big chisel of dimes. What are your thoughts?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. It was a long time coming. He's been grinding for a very long time. And for him to get that W in the manner that he got it in this period of time with how you have champions all over the place, I think it's dope. I think it's dope. I enjoyed watching the match. It was nice.
Okay. You want to go me next? You?
Yeah, we go down the road. So you go ahead.
So Swerve as a professional wrestler, take away everything else out, he is fantastic.
Phenomenal.
He is phenomenal. He is absolutely amazing. Him getting that title as a black wrestler, I fucks with it because it's representation. The company being so young, 5 years, people have mentioned that a couple times, but it would have been idiotic for them not to do it, especially the fact of how talented he is, and the mere fact, the climate and the era that we're in. I'm not giving WWE a pass, but let's think about it. Do you think AEW would have given him a title if it was 50 years ago?
No.
So
that wasn't the climate.
I don't want to dilute what he said. I'm just stating facts.
That's just being honest.
Bump that. 50 years ago, you think that Tony Khan could get a wrestling company? No.
I don't know.
Like, overall, AEW is a miracle that even happen right now, though, because reputation is from the front office all the way down to the wrestlers. People may not see it that way because all they see is like they don't see Tony Khan just Tony Khan though. But Indian people was not getting like they was always getting money, but they was not representing how they was.
Pakistani.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, it's fine. You don't know.
No, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know offense.
I knew because I had Michael look up his daddy because I was just like, yo,
I
where's dad? I was like, yo, what is he?
That's the only way.
It was that whole like, what the fuck is he
Matter of fact,
moment. So that's how I found out he's Pakistani.
As a brown brother doing what he's doing back in the day, yo, they was not getting the respect that they get.
They would have strong armed them out of there.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
And on top of that is
some territory.
9/11 was such a hostile time for those people. Like, I ain't gonna front. I did participate in some of this foolish behavior because I didn't know no better. Call them terrorists, call them Bin Laden and stuff like that, beating them up because, like, yo, call them a tower. Well, people I saw beating them up. I remember this dude named O'Neal punched his Pakistani dude.
You're no longer like that. I want people to know
that.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh,
one of my biggest crush is from the Middle East.
Right.
Ooh.
So like how that me saying that how that is
talk about later.
Yeah, we'll talk about later. It's just like me maturing as the attitude.
Actually, my ex is part Middle
East. She's a whole bunch of shit.
I'm weak. But why I said this because that's how the climate was for everybody.
Yeah, and I get that.
So like the fact that him as a brown brother doing what he's doing, I had to just point that out though.
Yeah, but no, you're right. It's just that what I'm saying is that the era that we're in.
Oh, they found the trends of the era. Okay.
Yeah, it's the era that we're in. But I don't want to dilute from one because the motherfucker's good.
Right.
That boy good. That boy is good. Now, outside, I don't fuck with him.
100%.
He don't fuck with you.
He don't fuck with me.
He blocked you.
He blocked me. He saw me at Hog. He barely looked at me. He didn't want to. But it's okay. It's okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna give you your flowers. I'm still gonna give you some type of respect because you are really freaking good. You are a star. Now, I don't like the fact that you use the skin color when it's convenient for you. That's my only thing. When it's the right thing, but not when it's the right thing to do. Now, I don't know where you're from, what you dealt with as a child growing up, so I'll leave it alone. But my last statement will be, congratulations, you deserve it, and I hope more great things come from you. And hold up, niggas who be disrespecting people, especially good people like Stephanie Hardy, over their opinion about a wrestler, where the opinion is not messed up, it's just an opinion. You are absolutely a piece of shit. No wonder you are ugly inside and out. No wonder your parents don't love you. And no wonder you have to be half naked online calling yourself sugar tits. That is the end of it. You can go ahead.
I told him, I say you got 60 seconds to waste on paid podcast time to talk about somebody, because what we not gonna do, we all have an opinion, whether you have a podcast or not. You like wrestling, you have an opinion, and just the level of
sugar tits,
just the level at times of disrespect, especially as a Black woman in wrestling media content, in wrestling, it becomes pussy once again nigga. As Malcolm X said, the most disrespected person is a Black woman, and that's just the one thing I'm just not gonna stand for.
I know you smell.
So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But in terms of Swerve,
or shit ass nigga.
In terms of Swerve, shout out to hashtag New York podcasters. In terms of Swerve, as you said, I am for the bigger picture of it. Yes, I think for AEW to pull the trigger was the right thing. I think them being 5 years in and being able to him being the first Black, champion, the world champion is it speaks volumes, and definitely think much kudos goes to him. Now, as Sir Wilkins had mentioned, now on the backside of things, and that's why sometimes being in the position that we're in, especially as like content creators and just people like within behind the scenes in a bit, just as an individual, I don't agree. I don't agree with the individual. That does not mean I can't agree with the talent. And we have to be able to differentiate that. I don't agree with some of the antics. I don't agree with, when people want to shout out you for your talent, that you disrespect them. You are the company that you keep. In that sense.
It sound personal.
But no, and all in all, I do want to congratulate Swerve for being able to make history and make it on his own. Now, as much as I may not like the individual,
hold on. I see our man Chisel Adonis is moving in
No. Yeah. I'm getting a thought, but I want to let.
Okay, I'll wrap it
his
up.
take as well, only because I think it could follow up from how this can all coincide together.
All right. So I'll wrap mine up by saying, and I guess we'll talk about a smidge more in This Week in Wrestling, but I just think that as much as whatever personal feelings I may have about the individual, the person, I still think he deserved better.
Yes, of course.
I think that the showcase that happened following him winning the world title was utmost disrespectful to him. And I really want to, and I challenge everyone that was on his side winning Sunday. I need y'all, just as loud as y'all was about him winning, I need y'all to be as loud about him not getting his due diligence and an opening segment on this week's Dynamite. Okay. I need the same energy that was when he won. I need y'all to keep that same energy for how he was displayed on Wednesday night. It was disgusting.
Why did you say it was disgusting?
It was disgusting how everyone else, and listen, I'm glad Willow, shout outs to Willow Nightingale, hometown girl. Love that she won. I get shout outs to her for becoming the new TBS champion.
By the way, we interviewed her. 300. Come on, dog. We here.
Friend of the show. Love her to pieces. And I get, her and the Mercedes, and we'll talk about Mercedes as we mentioned that. The whole Mercedes always button into her moment. I don't agree with. I don't agree with y'all giving Jericho 8 minutes for another Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't appreciate that. And I don't appreciate, as much as everyone is now like, oh, the elite, Tony Khan, everyone's talking about that when they're not talking about the first black champion of AEW, and that's a problem. That's an issue. And that's what most people are not going to say. They're just gonna be like, oh, he was on TV. He shouldn't have been wrestling. None of them other new champions wrestled. He shouldn't have wrestled. He should have been able to open that show. Instead they opened it with Orange Cassidy on the floor rolling. And I was just like, what the
good song.
I said, this man who's made history for your company can't even get 5 minutes solo of his own to celebrate his win. But then you want to say, oh, the celebration is going to be Saturday night on a Rampage and on Collision following the NBA playoffs.
So let me ask you this.
After 10 o'clock?
Hold on. Let me.
It's disgusting.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, and I'm playing devil's advocate in the situation, that they saw that, hey, we are going to be after the NBA playoffs because he's our champion. Let him have Rampage to open up or Collision so we can get a boost in ratings.
Yo, but guess what? By Saturday, no one gives a fuck.
Exactly.
No. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No one gives a fuck. No one cares.
But
everybody tuned in Wednesday. That was black and brown because they wanted to see the world champion come out and say some shit. Why should I have to wait almost a week from when he won it to hear what the fuck he got to say on 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday night? Why should he be subjected to that?
With your toes out.
white toast.
Especially since
Tatted.
you don't hear from him. The first time that you see him, that's not when you hear from him.
And he
It's
had-
like
and-
it's
and
a
he-
delayed
and-
situation.
and-
Because if y'all was gonna do that, don't have him. Don't have him on Dynamite.
Exactly.
Don't have
Because
him
the
on
first
Dynamite.
time you see him after he
Now I'm
wins,
not gonna
he should be
care.
acknowledging the elephant
Thank
in the
you.
room
Yeah.
versus, oh, well, I've
Thank
seen
you.
you already. Now we're going to do it after the
Thank
fact. The
you.
moment's
That
already
shit is
passed.
And
disgusting.
my only thing
Ugh.
it was, and no disrespect to the person that he wrestled, it wasn't a high level person.
It was a fair fight.
It wasn't a star.
And then y'all had the audacity to be like, it's a championship eliminator match. What the fuck for?
I mean,
What the fuck for?
how I feel about Swerve winning is just one of those situations where, like, he won. Congratulations, as a black man. Cool. That's what's up. Doing a young company. Blah 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 blah. I like that. But as far as outside of that, though, is he kind of reminds me of Kanye West. You understand?
You call Swerve Kanye West.
Well, you
Why'd
don't
you
need
call
us
Swerve Kanye
because,
West?
like, just like Kanye West, you talk mad trash about black people. Mad trash.
I don't think he didn't talk trash about black people.
Ooh.
Swerve.
Well, it's just like something that's so black. Like, you go against us, but yet when you need us, you pick it back up and
Where
say
was
that
he at
I
when
wanna-
Swole was going down?
Right.
I wait.
Right.
So
Why were you riding? Hold on, like, why were you riding this wave? I understand where he's coming from because sometimes in wrestling, you want to look out for yourself and your best interests. And certain times, like, I don't know how you was raised, you all about whatever going on with my village. And what my village says is okay, I deal with my village. Everyone else, I don't have to deal with because I worry about me.
guys look thick.
And what I realize in life is, and that's how I know it's about a lot of black people. They get a certain level and they say that I got to play the game now. I got to be like my fellow co-workers that don't look like us to be comfortable, because there's always a situation like you can't be too black, meaning that too black is you bring all your people in there, this, that, third. But yet the counterpart is just like, but you end up bringing all your family in here, and that's okay though, son.
But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you talk because I know you want to. You have a thought that's going on. I'm not giving him all that credit. The man that deserves the credit is the man that nobody talks about, who literally no. Will Washington. Will Washington was hired by Tony Khan to help with creative.
Mm-hmm.
He saw Swerve was a star.
Mm-hmm.
He put him with Nana, who Nana helped get over Swerve.
Correct.
Because without Nana, Swerve wouldn't have been such a big deal that he is now.
No.
That's not. And Will understood the importance of a black wrestler in this company and the importance of having a world champion that is black. I want to give the real credit to the people behind the scenes. I want to give this real credit to the reason why Willow probably got that title. It's because of Will Washington. A lot of times we talk about the performance, who deserve it, who deserve all the love because they put their bodies on the line. But who puts them in a position to win a lot of times?
Yeah.
We have bookers, Janelle from the HR, who understand I got to put you here. The announcement we're going to have next week is going to shock the world.
Yo, I can't stress to y'all that this Jobber Slam
is going to be the best Jobber Slam
It's going to change the game.
This is a cheap plug.
But
at the same time, we're going to have Yaya's going to have a match with somebody because we put them in positions to win.
And also to showcase their talent. Like,
but I'm just saying, like, it's the booking of it. Will Washington really is that dude.
So shout out.
And the thing about it, we don't talk about him. We don't give him the love.
So
because the reason why we talking about Swerve is because of Will.
So okay.
But I said enough. Chisel the Donna, speak to us, King.
So I'm glad that you brought that up about behind the scenes, because this actually coincides with what my question is. Because do you think that the champion in major wrestling promotions has the same kind of cultural significance that it had 30 some years ago? Like, for example, when Farouk, Ron Simmons had won the WCW championship, the impact that it had within the community, because that's the first that you felt, even when Jinder Mahal had won the WWE championship and the representation that's there. Do you think the company of AEW understands the significance? Because Swerve becoming that very first Black world champion in that company, well, at least on the men's at the top of the card, do they understand the significance behind that? Because when you mentioned that a ton of Black and brown children, adults tuning in to Dynamite, so you can hear what the world champion has to say, because he's the first. Does Tony Khan and the company in and of itself, because of course you can have your isolated individuals within who understand, like, hey, but do they have enough push to where now everybody buys in? Because if you look at in WWE, when Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair headlined at WrestleMania, it was a huge moment to where pop culture.
I always forget. Was it a title match?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always forget. Like,
let me explain something to you.
And Bianca
you
won.
almost forgot about the match in and of itself because of the moment.
It just was the moment, and being there physically in the rain, ponchos and all, like being able to see history as a Black woman that grew up loving wrestling and not being able to really talk about it the way that I talk about it now as an adult. That moment mattered, and it was the follow through. And I think that's where AEW is gonna lack in is the follow through.
Right,
What do you
because
mean by the follow
it
through?
spilled
So,
into the ESPYs.
The follow through would be, so like when Bianca won, she became legit the John Cena of WWE, legit. Because you look at that whole year, she went champion, and then fast forward, then she lost. Then that was when Becky came back. Now she had the uphill battle, won the Rumble, came back, challenged, took the belt back at WrestleMania, has been undefeated at WrestleMania since her debut at WrestleMania. The follow through has always been, how do we do it bigger and better? And my issue with how they followed through, you had a moment Sunday. You had a moment that whether you hate Swerve or you like Swerve, you was talking about the moment. And it was expected for that world champion to have his moment on that national TV stage, and y'all niggas decided to start the show off with shenanigans and end the show with shenanigans.
Right.
It was good shenanigans. I like the shenanigans.
I mean, overall,
but it's the shenanigans that, guess what? It undermines the new world champion.
But this goes back to what I always said before. Tony Khan don't know how to make stars. He just know how to maintain them. Let's make them go.
Can make
like
moments,
this.
but doesn't make it last.
There's no follow through.
He doesn't because, like, you had Willow. Willow win the championship. You presented her, whatever. But you only did that because you signed Sasha Banks.
So I was really mad about.
I was heated that Sasha came out with that girl.
And the reason, so the reason why I was mad about that is because you didn't need to do that
at all.
Now, I get it.
And you did it twice.
Hold on. I get it. You just paid Shorty a bunch of money. Like what Sasha did was break the mold for how women should get paid in wrestling. And I want to give her a round of applause for that. Because Becky Lynch, her contract's about to be up.
Yeah, her and Seth, I think, up in June.
So she's about to be looking at WWE like, yo, Sasha got this.
Run me my money.
This is what I'm doing.
Right.
And no disrespect to Sasha. So
Mercedes Moné.
She's Sasha Banks.
She always will be Sasha. Well, it is what it is.
She's Sasha Banks over there right now, just going by an alias.
So when we look at Mercedes Moné, I understand you got to use her in every type of capacity because she's technically not cleared to wrestle.
Correct.
Quote unquote. So let's push that to the side. Willow gets this title. Why didn't you let her soak in that moment?
Oh my God.
And then we go on.
You did it again.
We can go on Dynamite. Willow could talk her shit. Then Sasha could come out to set up the next pay-per-view.
Y'all niggas had decorated the ring with balloons and shit to have her come out again and interrupt her.
Because
why?
The wrestling in general lacks great baby faces.
Yeah.
And Willow is the definition of a baby face. Everything about her, from the way she looks, the way she carries herself, her promos, the way she sounds, just screams baby face.
Even on the indies.
And I've
Well, she got
always
signed.
said this, like certain people can't be baby faces. Like I remember I trained at House of Glory and fucking Red was like, you cannot be a baby face. You're easily hated.
Mhm.
Like I'm going to Raw. Tommaso Ciampa has a punchable face.
Yeah.
He cannot be a baby face.
Yeah, you can.
He cannot be a baby face. So we're looking to go back to Willow. It's like, yo, you have a potential to have a mega baby face, a white hot baby face within your division. Give her that time.
Can I be
Because,
real?
huh?
For me, if Willow had went to WWE first, she would have been bigger star than Sasha. I mean, then Mercedes Moné.
Why do you say that?
Because that promo that she cut was the best promo that Sasha, I mean, compared to Monet had cut as a heel babyface ever. It was precise, everything.
Because
I just think that how she's needing more. Willow's great, but I feel like she will be a bigger star. I feel Willow AEW is her playing ground, but Tony Khan just don't use her right.
Willow is a mega star.
Yes.
For there's a thing about representation. So I think she's biracial.
Yeah, she's black and white.
I'm about to say,
Hold
I
on.
feel like her mama's Spanish. Though.
Yeah, biracial in some type of, and I'm gonna get to the point I'm getting to. She's biracial. She's a curvy woman. She's happy, smiley. Yo, that is literally money.
She's more money than Mercedes Moné.
Bro,
Yeah, because the kids will love
the
her.
merch.
The merch will be
The merch.
crazy.
But see, but you have to remember, and I think
not Willow toy.
I have to remember. You have to remember though who the demographic is.
Mhm.
White male, 25 to 45.
You know the crazy thing about that? You want me to go further back and be Ryan? I'm Ryan's anime niggas. You could say the same thing. They lust after Willow.
Mhm.
Am I wrong?
They do.
Like if you see a lot of their girlfriends look just like Willow.
They do.
Yep.
They do.
So like how that middle America, black man, every type of man want to be with Willow.
Yeah.
See, but the issue,
She's
the
fine.
the issue is it's always gonna fall back to the presentation. And you know what? Now thinking about the execution, I should have known the fuckery was gonna happen. How they did Jade with the
But
50
someone
wins.
said-
I should have known.
I understood why
Shit.
they brought Sasha in because of the New Japan. The
The story wrote itself.
wrote itself.
Absolutely.
But what I'm
But the girl
saying is,
deserved
for
that.
people who don't understand what I'm saying, is that let it cook.
Yeah.
Let her have a moment. We go to Dynamite. We have a storyline already set up.
Someone said this over there. He said that no, she's not. She's literally accused of Willow of injuring her purposely. Y'all don't pay attention.
We do pay attention because we already know what happened.
We already
Yeah,
know the
and, like,
story, so
It's
I don't have to
fine, it's
explain
fine.
it.
What we're talking about is giving her a moment.
Yeah.
Right.
And
The
I don't think-
presentation of it.
But when we look at AEW in the grand scheme of things, does any title guy person get a moment?
No.
No.
White, black, Puerto Rican? No.
I would
no.
argue
But-
they got too much time.
But let's talk. But you would. That's what I mean. You would rather put money and time into a nigga over 50 with an FTW title trying to do a whole nother stable. Like, make it make sense.
Like,
Hold on.
Make it make sense.
I am Chris Jericho. I'm the reason why you got a TV deal. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want.
Yo, but like, yo,
no,
It's at the
but
behest of,
and
because
then you know,
for Chris Jericho's point, I get it. Like, I'll never fault him for
Of
what
course.
he was able to bring. But when you're running the show and you know you want to bring up the younger talent that are decades younger than you, or whatever the case may be, there has to come a point where they have to have a conversation.
yo,
Listen,
for
I
Big
can't-
Bill to come out and be like, you know, we've had. I was like, nigga, about 8 weeks ago, y'all was just having a whole street fight as a tag team. Y'all was wrestling each other. So what are we talking about?
because it sounds like
What are we
honestly, can I be real? I think that Jericho's too exposed right now. There's nothing wrong with his in-ring talent, him reinventing. You know why he was so golden in WWE later on years? He's had disappeared for months.
Exactly.
Now,
Been around too long.
right now it's just like, dang man, I want to be here. I want to wrestle all the time. Though, it's just like
Make the people miss you.
Right, you are warm. Like yo, like your presence not like Jericho, and you do the same exact thing. I feel like y'all may get on Vince sometimes, but I respect the man that who could change his mind and stand on his mind that he changed it on. Like, you feel me? You may get on Vince though, but he knows how to pivot sometimes. Either it's from his own random decision, someone else, or he's on some, oh, you want to bet that, like, for example, Xavier Woods came in there, was like, listen, they booing us. Can I do it my way? I put my job online. Let me do it my way. I could take that bet. That shit made Vince dick hard. And you know what Vince did? Rewards him. He rewarded each and every one of them for basically going out there and say, I got this. He told Mark Henry. Mark Henry said, yo, I'm going to strongman competition. Vince said, looked at dead in his eyes, said, you won't have a job if you lose, my nigga. He said, my nigga, though, but he said that, bro.
He probably did, though.
You won't have a job. Like, he did like this. You won't have a job after this
Because
if you lose. You know what Mark Henry did? Put that battery in his back like this and won it. And you want Vincent rewarded him by anointing him with that title, World's Strongest Man.
But you also gotta understand this dude, Jericho is Shaq.
There you go.
Just don't know when to. You just refuse
Give
to call
it up.
Post Miami Heat.
Yeah.
That's what Jericho is.
Give it up.
The talent is still there,
Right.
but it's not how it used to be.
Right.
Give it up.
And what's going on in wrestling is a great time. But listen, are we gonna go into Dynamite real quick, or are we going to Raw?
Let's talk about. I guess we can talk about WWE real quick.
Dynasty to finish off Dynasty. I enjoyed Dynasty.
Yeah,
but listen, all mostly a majority of AEW's pay-per-views get my dick hard.
Super hard.
Except that sometimes they're too long because I'm a one round.
Not sometimes, nigga. They are long as fuck. Let me tell you, that first of all, the Jericho and Hook match could have been on Dynamite. That didn't need to be on pay-per-view. And then
shoot.
Who else? I mean, definitely I do want to give some flowers to Ospreay and Daniel Bryan because that match was fire. Like I love technical wrestling, so the fact to see that was just it was beauty.
Twice.
Okay, right.
Nipples hard and all.
Nipples when he was doing it?
Of course.
Do you do that?
Like my nipples suck.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I go crazy.
Really? Oh, okay. Learn something new every day.
Shout out to Mariah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, shout out to Mariah.
Right.
But yeah, no, Dynasty. Nigga said Dynasty was longer than both names at WrestleMania. Absolutely. But no, overall, as you mentioned, they, for the most part, the pay-per-views, they seem to get right. But once again, it's always the after. It's always like the road. Now we're on the road to Double or Nothing.
Somebody said they need 2-day pay-per-views.
They may need 3 nights, to be honest with you, because these niggas just be having.
Well, they be having like 15 matches on the card.
That's the problem.
With
just filling.
I don't get how you can have 3, like 3 on a pre-show. Like
that's what made no sense. I'm like, what's going on? You got,
but you know what?
You check out before you check in.
Tony be like, yo, y'all about to pay this $50? I'm gonna give you a $50 worth.
But bro, it's on free.
Let's throw all these niggas over
there. I can't get mad because he giving us a throwback how games used to be back in the day. You pay $50, you get the
free for all.
So you know what?
But even on the free for all, though, they didn't wrestle like that. It was always, I felt like you maybe had like maybe 1 match or maybe 2 at most. But that free for all shit, it was so much more of like segments, interviews. Like it was never like this like heaviness going into the pay-per-view. It was always either the last match before the shit went to pay-per-view. Sometimes it would lead into you having to buy the pay-per-view to see what happened. Like it always ended up connecting for you to be like, okay, it's like a start of a roller coaster ride where you're going up like that's how free for all was. AEW, that should just be like,
Listen,
like goddamn,
listen,
you be like, yo, I'm nauseous.
But listen, if you're paying $50. Like this is how boxing matches are too.
Well, you don't,
get
and that shit is
boring.
I remember.
Oh my god,
I'm dating myself right here. When I was like super, super young, and Mike Tyson was the man, and I would try to stay up to watch Mike Tyson matches, but the undercard be so long until Mike Tyson match. And the bad thing about Mike Tyson matches in his prime, it'd be 10 seconds.
Yo, that's how I felt when I went to my very first boxing. It was Canelo at the Garden. I forgot who he wrestled. I think he wrestled an English nigga.
You mean he
boxed? Yeah, boxed. Yeah,
it's all the fuck same thing. Shit lasted about 10 minutes, so 10 seconds. So no, but I say this and saying like it was at the Garden. It was my first boxing match event that I went to. I ended up getting the tickets for free at my job because we actually had Canelo and his family after the weigh-in come and eat. So the lady was like, "Yo, you did everything for us. Like, hey, we got extra tickets. Come by to the hotel, get extra tickets."
Nice.
Bet.
Who you
So
went with?
I went with Jess and I went with Brittany because
shout out
Jess
to them.
they both like boxing. So they say I knew Jessica like boxing. Brittany said she like boxing. So I said, all right, come on.
Bring like the men.
Yeah.
So but the whole building was full of Mexicans. So there was no
So you know
way.
who Canelo is?
Yeah.
Yo,
King
Canelo,
Mexican.
yo,
I didn't
King
realize
Mexican.
it. I didn't realize it until we
And
were in the building.
He's one of my favorite boxers.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He's evolved into just.
So yeah, no, I
Massive
say that in
boxer.
saying he was the main event, and me not knowing like how boxing gives it up. Like, yo, we had got there like maybe like 8:30.
Yeah.
early.
Undercard,
Bro,
limbs,
We was
all-
fucking sitting there for 3 hours before that nigga came out.
That's why I'm a casual when
I
it comes
said,
to
what the fuck is
fighting
this?
sport, like boxing.
That was I was one and
main
done.
event. I'll watch that. I'll see
I was
you
one
at
and
11.
fucking done.
I'll tune in at midnight. I
No,
can't.
but that's
Yo, this shit is
you
ridiculous.
gotta be a purist, like a fan of the
Yeah,
sport.
you gotta
So-
really love
Right.
that.
When,
So if you're a
Um,
casual, you're gonna have a bad time.
when Legends does the boxing matches or like UFC,
No, it was a white
They-
dude. This English guy. Remember?
they don't get popping. Like the bar doesn't get super busy until like
Until
10 p.m.
Till like 11.
I remember I went to Legends when CM Punk was in the UFC when he I think it was with him and Mickey Gall, and they had the fight there. I got there the match before or the fight before, and I saw like the people were piling in.
Mhm.
And then once it starts to reach towards the apex, what we all came to see, that's when it's packed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't weave and move. But
Right.
but okay, we did Dynasty a little bit here and there.
You know what the releases?
I guess real quick. I mean, I'm gonna miss Jinder Mahal and I'm gonna miss Cameron Grimes.
Oh well, we gotta see some releases.
But you know they gotta make room for the re-signees.
Mhm.
I did like Vaughn. I love me some Cameron Grimes.
This surprised me the most. Was this?
I think it surprised them even more. But most I would say
Ah,
90% of the niggas they did not use, so it's
So
not like
I have a theory. I have a theory.
but they gotta make some money moves. They gotta make some money, clear some money out.
Endeavor, aka TK or whatever, Endeavor worries me sometimes.
Why?
So the company, my shoot job is a public company. And a lot of
I
times
know.
when I'm in meetings,
It's okay.
we talk about how to cut
Cost.
whatever, cut costs and stuff of that nature. So there's been times I have to have like uncomfortable conversations with my teammates.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I bring this up is because Endeavor owns WWE. So I know a lot of times they're going to have this, we got to cut costs.
Right.
And we kind of seen it a little. Some of the stuff makes sense. Like they cut down on pyro a little bit.
They cut down on the set.
They cut down on the set was because
Well, it's to get more bodies in the
more
building.
bodies in the room. I like big sets.
Me
Yeah.
too.
But pause, no Diddy. But
I hate you.
it's kind of like, what else you gonna try to cut
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to minimize pain? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to when you own a company, it's always about what's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and you don't see people, you see numbers. So when I hear this, I'm just like, ugh.
It's hard. It's a tough pill.
It's a little bit. And they said a lot of Anthony Smalls, a lot of
Shout out to
backstage people
Anthony.
got cut
Yeah, like a lot of like VPs. I think
Yeah.
they've been condensing
I'm gonna
roles
say something after you're done.
and
because
stuff like
I've
that.
seen it within companies I've worked for,
Right.
especially when they're public or they're bought in by somebody else. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to cut down and make as much money as possible.
So let me say from my point of view, it's at the end of the day, when you transition from this is super corporate wrestling from how Vince was running it, is there's certain things that Vince was doing because he understand that I'm gonna run this at a loss because I understand the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like him paying for certain wrestlers' funerals, doing like certain things on the company's dime and stuff like that,
Mhm.
taking care of these wrestlers way after that we should. So I won't be surprised if there might be cuts with the Legend deal. You won't get as much and stuff like that. Or the split might be a little bit towards more the company and less on the wrestlers. Put it like this. Mark my words. A wrestler's going to form a union very soon.
Oh, without question.
So
I don't know when. I don't know where. But it's going to be a moment where they're going to cut something so bad. They're going to go like, fuck y'all niggas. Because there's certain things that I give Vince credit. Like, he did certain things because it make wrestling sense.
Because in the beginning, because for Vince, I think the difference, Vince was a wrestling guy, got into business. We're dealing with business people getting into wrestling.
And that's my thing.
That's the difference.
But I do think though, and as much as Dwayne had a very hard road to WrestleMania, I do think him being a part of that board does give that bit of wrestling sense.
Right, provides a buffer.
Yeah,
Right.
so like there are going to be things that on the business side they're going to want to do, but then they have a reinforcement that knows the ins and outs of wrestling in that conversation.
As long as they value his opinion, then I think it works. But if there's moments in which it's like, hey, this is not necessarily above your pay grade, but if it's a situation where it's like, oh, we're going to make this decision and we're not even going to entertain consulting in you, it now defeats the role he's supposed to be at.
And that's a great point you mentioned. That's a great point you mentioned.
Right.
And like what makes wrestling sense is if you're not on television, shout out to Ciendo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What makes wrestling sense is, hey, they went from you're not on TV, now we get paid to like if you offer TV, you will get paid. I won't be surprised if they cut that.
No. They can't. So I was watching, shout out to Maven. Maven has a podcast.
Oh, yeah. I just heard about it last week.
Talking.
Apparently, it's amazing.
This nigga be talking.
Wait. Backtrack. You mean his YouTube stuff? He does YouTube?
Yeah.
Fire.
He has a YouTube show, and he had what was those guys called? The pretty people, motherfucker. The modeling.
Pretty dead.
Maxim modeling.
Oh,
Yeah,
Maxim
Oh,
modeling.
the niggas that just wrestled in Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They were just out there.
So they were on the show, and they were talking about how they get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So every wrestler is a guaranteed money now.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin.
Guaranteed money. Before you got paid a downside, and then you would get maybe tickets, percent of the tickets, percentage of your merch, all of that. So you get paid a guaranteed amount. I'm gonna make up a number. Let's say you get paid $120,000 a year.
Let's give him a little more, 30.
No, 120 because easy math.
Right.
Okay, 120. Okay.
So there's a bucket system that they have where you get your guaranteed money, then you'll get a percentage of tickets, merch, all of that, and TV. There's a line that you have to hit to get that extra money.
The incentives. Right.
If you don't hit that line, you just get your base pay.
Right.
So what they'll do sometimes is say,
Oh yeah.
if they see you getting close to that line, you don't got to be on TV this week.
Right. They do it in basketball. They do it in football where you have incentives if you reach this certain mark, and then we'll cut back.
They'll go, and you don't even know how they're making up this algorithm, but they'll go, Janelle, you don't need to be on TV this week. Chill out. Go home.
So you ain't got to pay me.
Oh, your shirts ain't doing that well. We're gonna pull them. So you don't get that extra bit of money that you're supposed to get once you get hit.
Right.
Okay.
So what I'm seeing, if they already had that culture before Endeavor, you think they're not gonna do it now that Endeavor's here? It might get
for
worse.
sure they will. Yeah.
And like reason why I said that certain things might change even more because not everybody has that integrity. A lot of people have a price, meaning that you get a kid off the indies, right? Cool. Shout out to my son Anthony Gamble. Tonight we are wrestling. He's gonna be in a dog collar match, main event, Jobbertears South in his building. So shout out to Anthony Gamble. Let's say he's a situation where he said that WWE coming to contract, and in his new format is a totally different format where like if you're not on TV, you're not gonna get paid. But he want to sign it so badly because the guarantee is good. He don't see the long run. Then he's signing it. More people sign it because they want to live this dream out.
Right.
That's what I'm scared of. Is people signing bad contract like in the music industry, and then they're not. And I've had to get it shortened out because in the indies Niggas already getting shorted now out here, dogs. Like there been times that I referee a whole fucking card, son, and this nigga gonna be fucking $20, son. For fuck this nigga, son. Sweating and everything like that, son. Busting my ass. Not the point.
But I want to say this though. I like that point that you're saying, bad contracts. But that's why AEW is important.
Mm-hmm. Give competition, give a competitor, give an alternative.
Because when I mentioned earlier, Mercedes Moné contract, groundbreaking for
or
women.
even
Yep.
Osprey. Osprey clearly said AEW offered me more money, and that's where I went.
Yep.
But so now you got a competitive edge. Or, hey Jade, come over here. We're not gonna pay you. We might not pay you that much of the contract that Tony offered you, but
we're gonna elevate.
We're gonna guarantee you this.
Right.
With more endorsements.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If 6 months you'll be put in the title picture, within this year you'll be done this. So as much as we can talk about AEW, it is needed. Because you are changing the game. Same way with WCW. By the way, I watched AEW's biography on Scott Hall. Beautiful.
Oh, it was so good.
Almost cried.
Oh, super side note. This past week's Dark Side of the Ring with Sherry Martel was really good.
Oh,
Watch
I
that
watched
too.
it on the fly.
Yo,
Yeah,
it was
I
really
watched it.
good.
Yeah, I watched it. I was coming back from
Like-
I didn't get to watch it.
Okay, no, it was really good.
Great. Oh my
Like
god.
I was very
her son.
her
had me like,
son.
oh,
I was
man.
like, oh my
Wait,
god.
because I kind of reason why I had that kind of stop watching. I felt this season's been kind of depressing a little bit.
No, it's just I think everybody's looking for more of the dramatics that
Right,
was in
right.
the previous season, but this season I like more particular because it's being done on people that I would have normally not heard a story about.
Right.
So
right.
like when they did
Chris
Earthquakes,
Adams,
when they
yeah.
opened up
That was
the
fire.
season with Earthquakes episode, and I was like, yo, I didn't know that nigga wrestled in Japan. I didn't know he was married to a Filipino woman and he had children.
Yeah.
There were things like this season is more for the knowledge is power movement
Yeah,
than
yeah.
it being the dramatic.
I think they had an episode on Terry Gordy. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, I watched all that.
Yeah.
So I like this Sherry. I'm gonna talk about this Sherry episode because I like that you brought that up.
Right. Oh, fun fact: Dark Side of the Ring was the first time I was ever on television. I did a promo for them. Yeah, yeah. Like last year or something like
Oh,
that. So,
shit.
yeah, they aired it right before the episode. I didn't see it, but somebody had emailed me like, "Yo, you on TV?" I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Yeah.
So I watched the Sherry episode and it hit home for me.
It's a sacrifice.
And I'm gonna be a little transparent. I want a family.
Mhm.
But I also understand I want to live a certain type of life.
Right.
Mhm. The career, the lifestyle, yeah.
And the reason
I'm
why
dealing with that shit now.
why that hit home for me was because she got married, she had a kid,
Had a baby,
she left
and
the
left.
family
Yep.
to pursue her life in professional
which
wrestling.
she knew was her true calling. So it's
It-
always
So
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, yo, and this is what a lot of wrestlers go through.
Mhm.
And I was also watching the Scott Hall one where he was talking about the same thing, where I just bought you guys a mansion, but I'm on the road 300 times out the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see my family.
Oh, did you see the Buff Bagwell
Oh,
one?
y'all don't get
Oh,
what I
no, I
mean
didn't
by
see
that.
it.
Go
shit.
watch the Buff
I have
Bagwell
to.
one.
That was a good episode.
That was it because I really did not know that was his real
understand.
mama.
What I
Wow.
mean by how that literally just like I don't feel like listen to our Dark Side of the Ring. You got to be in the mode to watch it because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I agree
Certain
with
time,
that.
and, like,
You
that's how I
don't
tell
want
people,
the sadness,
Right. And like with me, I'm an empath. I feel energy.
Mhm.
I don't want to watch it because like I'm gonna feel it, and after that I'm going to bed. I'm sad the next day. No, I have to be in the mood for that. So
yeah.
reason why I said the Sherry Martel was like very emotional because was it positive or was it negative?
It's both. I mean,
Yeah, it was both.
it
It starts
it's
out
a little bit
positive,
of
and then
both.
It kind of
Really
it gets
depending
you.
on the like how the lens that you look at it through, because as a female, people may judge her for leaving her family in the way that she did, but not understanding that there's no animosity on their end. They've made peace about that. And also she proved the husband wrong by going into the
Right.
business
Right.
and doing what she said she was gonna do, because he didn't believe her. In the episode, he was like, yo, she told me she was gonna wrestle. He took that shit as a joke.
Yeah, and he laughed.
That nigga
yeah.
laughed at her. And so for her to then move forward, become champion, be this amazing manager in WCW, have this career, be inducted into the Hall of Fame, like she had accolades. Like the first person that was under that was her manager was fucking Jim Cornette. And I didn't know that. And I was like,
clue.
I was like, what?
She was dating Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
she was
yo,
dating Jake.
yo,
I knew that much.
I did not know that.
I didn't know about
had
what
no
happened
idea.
at the funeral.
And, right, the funeral shit when
like,
that nigga was probably high as a he said the only thing I remember was Booker T and Stevie Ray.
Yep.
So
and I had a chance to hear Jake the Snake like live maybe about 10 years ago. He was like telling a story. I don't know if he wasn't like doing like a one-man show kind of situation, but it was like a random comedy club. And then Jake the Snake was like telling story. It was so emotional because he's a hell of an orator.
So I watched the Scott Hall one, and I don't think there's a certain man that was in that documentary, the A&E one.
Thank you, Daniel, for
that
watching.
Doesn't get enough like love. Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
DDP's a savior.
His resurrection doc on it was on Scott Hall and
Jake the Snake.
Right, Jake.
Jake the Snake. Oh my, the ending
The
tie-up,
fact, so that's why I said watch the Bagwell episode because I didn't know that
DDP's helping him.
was involved with helping him.
This is why I
because Jake had called him. Jake the Snake and Buff Bagwell are close.
Yeah,
and they had talked, and Jake basically said, "Come to Atlanta, come to DDP's house."
Mm-hmm.
That's what he
just open door, open policy. So DDP
sensational
just
human being.
Cannot say how much of amazing.
So I
things.
watched the Scott Hall one. I watched this all last night.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cleaning my apartment, and I was watching the Scott Hall episode, and I was like, "Yo, DDP really is out here doing God's work."
Yeah, that's his calling,
and just helping these wrestlers in the business. Because one thing I forgot that I love Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
My brother knows this. The only reason why I watched WCW was because I saw Scott Hall on WCW.
That's how you walked in here with the Scott Hall today.
So I know everything about Scott Hall, and I forgot. I think I always like forget that he killed a man.
Straight up, straight up bouncer.
And the way that this A&E documentary did it was that they talked about how this shit haunted him his entire life. He was scarred from it. Gave him a ray of sunshine. He was like, DDP was in the doc, and he was like, "Yo, listen, he did like 3 months or a month or two, and he looked like a different person."
Yeah, them drugs.
Because he got him moving again. He was in a wheelchair and he was walking.
I remember.
So when you mentioned Scott Hall real quick, and we'll talk about so we're gonna go to the draft. I do want to talk about that as that does start tonight. Another thing, and I didn't like, and it's funny, I never really watched the seasons before, but that Most Treasured shit. Yo, the last episode I had watched, it was actually really dope because it was the WCW episode. So they were trying to find items from different people in the WCW era. So like they did, so Lita went to Cody Hall, Scott Hall's son, and ended up getting the trunks, the Outsiders trunks, the black and white drip from when he was in NWO. So they had got that. She went to Scott Steiner, Rick and Scott Steiner, down in Atlanta. She went there to the Steiner brothers. She ended up getting the Michigan varsity jacket that they wore, one of them. And the headpiece Scott Steiner wore when he was Big Papa Pump.
Right.
Like that episode literally is like, because like for me, before I got to WWE, I was in WCW land. So like to see a lot of those, and I think the episode either coming up or had just passed, they were looking for Dusty stuff. So I think Cody's in that episode and they're looking for like the polka dot gear and stuff like that. But Most Treasured this season kind of got me. I was like, all right, I can maybe fuck with this. But all right, let's talk about the I almost said the NFL draft because that's happening. Day 2 is today. Shout out to my Giants. Thank you. The WWE draft, brand new. We got rules. This I like the fact that you always talk about how they've been moving in more of a sports direction. So I felt like with the rules of the draft, I was like, oh, this is interesting. So once again, the WWE draft starts tonight on SmackDown. Here are the rules of the draft. Ooh, my man is ready. I had it on my phone, but I can read it on the screen. SmackDown tonight, there will be 4 rounds, 16 picks total. So that means 4 people per round, if you don't know math. On Raw, there'll be 6 rounds, 24 people, so that's 4 people in each round. Now this one is where this changes the game. Champions on each brand are protected. Because remember the last drafts, niggas have been switching belts,
right?
And it was weird.
Very
weird. But however, the women's tag team champions are eligible for the draft. SmackDown once again starts off the draft. They will have the first pick tonight. Raw will have the first pick on Monday Night Raw. The rosters lock in officially the weekend after Backlash. So Monday, May 6th is when all of the switching and drafting goes into effect. So
is the eligible pools. The
eligible pool for Monday, as you can see on the screen, is a whole bunch of niggas. And then Friday, they have their own pool. You probably don't. Do you have that or no? It's okay if you don't.
Twice, my bad.
It's okay. So NXT superstars are eligible for the draft.
Yes.
Main roster people, I do believe, will be drafted. Some people may be going to NXT.
Right.
So my question to the guys and those that are watching on the live, who will be the first round pick on each brand? Because that is an important piece. Because remember, champions are not eligible. So that takes away Cody. That takes away Damian Priest. The men's tag team are eligible for the draft. Only the women, no, they're not. The men's are protected. IC champions protected. US champion protected. Right. The only one title that is up would be the women's tag team, which really they should actually just draft them bitches separately and just disappear them.
Exactly.
Just
I had enough of the title.
Just let it go. Listen, if NXT, and we're gonna talk about NXT real quick. If NXT can give us a mid-card women's title, then WWE, I need y'all to figure it out. But So who will be the first round pick on each show?
I think
SmackDown has the first pick, right?
Yeah. Yes, tonight.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
he's not a champion. It has to be Roman Reigns.
It has to be Roman Reigns.
Okay,
I agree with him.
Has to be Roman Reigns.
Also, too, if of those that are not aware, Jimmy Uso is injured.
Right.
He will be remaining a free agent, which is actually a really good thing. Perfect. So he's not in the draft. He's not eligible for the draft. He will be able to choose the brand of his choice when he does return. Another person, I'm not too sure if that's going to be a situation, but I did hear that Dominic Mysterio is injured, has an elbow injury. He will be getting the Tom Johnson surgery that baseball players get, which normally gets a baseball player out for 9 months, but because he's not throwing a ball, that could be shorter. But that is the current status quo why his arm is in a sling. So
after WrestleMania,
they
must have been on painkillers, Ozempic, like everything under the sun just to make it
just
through.
Got his knee surgery. Right. Rhea got injured, so she'll be out for about 3 months, give or take.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
No, they announced it.
No, they had. I read it actually earlier this morning.
Right. I see it today. I saw it today.
They said it was a freak accident.
Yeah, but that's how Rhea's was. Rhea's the segment with her and Liv when they had that backstage stuff. That was a freak accident. So it's wrestling. It happens. So okay, you say Roman.
Someone said Seth.
He's injured, so he's a free agent.
Yeah,
so real talk. Yeah, like at the end of the day, just like I look at the Bloodline storyline, and listen, you want that,
right?
As a person that, mind you, it's going to the USA Network, so people forget that Raw is going to Netflix. So honestly, Roman got to go on SmackDown. He got to stay on SmackDown.
Okay, so Wilkins, first pick tonight.
Oh shoot, we got to talk about Becky Lynch winning the Women's Championship.
We'll get there.
That's great.
We'll get there.
Moving on.
But we still got to talk about it though.
It's great.
I think it's Bianca.
Okay.
For Raw?
No, for SmackDown. Tonight's first pick.
She's been on Raw for a while.
Right.
I think they're gonna move her to SmackDown, move her with the girls as well.
She's primarily on SmackDown.
No, she's on SmackDown.
Yeah, she's on SmackDown. She's been on SmackDown.
Yeah,
actually, now that I think about it, I can't recall the last time she was on Raw.
Oh, my bad, guys.
Yeah,
she be on both shows, bro.
Because they don't respect their own rules at this point.
But also too, and it's funny, I was talking to my coworker about this because he was like, WWE, it's been, and I said they're always in this weird in-between space between WrestleMania and this draft.
Yeah.
Every year it happens. So that's why I don't take it no way. I'm never like, oh my God. Somebody asked, is Jacob showing up tonight? So originally I heard he was, but now I'm hearing he's not.
No.
So I'm gonna go no. It's the draft. You probably, in all honesty, you probably won't see Jacob until Backlash.
Mhm.
You probably won't see him until the pay per view.
Someone said Roxanne Perez. So
Okay, Roxy getting
who you think
drafted.
gonna be-
Ilya Dragunov.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he'll definitely
He'll
be getting
de-
drafted,
I
but just
think
not the first round.
Wherever,
I feel like
no,
a
not
Raw
the first
superstar.
round. Yeah,
He
I was
will
like,
be
he'll go on
taking
Raw.
Vinci's spot
Absolutely,
in
Imperium.
right?
Yep.
And I'm hoping that's what happens.
You and me both. You say you hate Imperium?
That they're splitting up Imperium.
Yeah, me too.
No,
No, they're just moving Vinci.
yeah. I was gonna
Ilya's
say
not
they're
doing
not. They're splitting it up per se.
Yeah.
Like they
No.
just kicking the nigga out of the
Yeah.
group.
What you gonna do with that nigga?
I don't fucking
Oh, it's
know.
clip. Yeah, budget cuts soon
Yeah.
enough. Unfortunately,
It's
and I like
about-
Vinci.
Because when you
but-
think, first of all, when Imperium first came up, he was my fave.
Right,
So, but you always know in every tag team, there's the one breakout.
right.
But
and the
how you
other
know
one
that
is
he
the
might go to
breakout.
the Alpha
Yeah.
Academy?
No,
Well, because the Creeds, I totally see the
are gonna have to
Creeds
go. It's about to be Team
It's
Gable.
gonna be listen,
Wait.
Abel, Willing,
So
and
I'm not
Gable.
gonna mention about my man.
Era being led by Trick Williams. That's all it is. And that
We were listen. I got you.
I know.
I wasn't going
about
to not
that.
end this show
Copyright.
off on a high note
Mhm.
and give our other black champions some love.
Got so much views.
Mm.
They get no monetization off.
Hey,
All right, so the drive, you guys SmackDown, you said Roman, you said Bianca. I'm gonna probably go with the Bloodline. And
Yeah,
I
as
feel
a
like Roman
group,
would be
right.
included in that
Yeah.
situation. So I would go
Yeah, if they do
Bloodline.
it as a group, right?
But I definitely, when they do a woman, I do think
Oh, yeah,
Bianca
Bianca
would
will be
go.
So
first.
who's going number one
First
for
one.
Raw then?
Raw
That's
would
where it gets
be,
interesting.
I think Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think
McIntyre
Drew.
or Punk.
You know what's funny? CM Punk's a free agent.
Yeah,
because he too is
because he
hurt.
was on. Yeah,
He too is hurt.
yeah.
It's a very interesting situation going on with this injuries, but it also shows you how stacked
Yeah.
Right.
the roster is.
Also,
It just got
just a thought,
crazy.
just regarding how stacked the roster is with the amount of injuries. Because I remember maybe it had to be about maybe 3 or 4 years ago where this same situation happened after Mania, where all the baby faces were
Yeah.
getting hurt. Oh no, I think it was 2 years ago after Cody had went against Seth, and then everybody was getting hurt. If the people who are now inserted into certain spots don't step up and get over,
Cut.
this could be their last opportunity.
Yeah.
Because going back to like the contract situation with the incentives, I think it also goes and falls on the shoulders of the talent to go out there and put their best foot forward. You can try to do like what a Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder was doing with like the internet stuff. Get yourself over to where the people can buy in. So now that increases your stock. Don't let it only be what creative gives you for television. So for all of those wrestlers now with the a bevy of injuries that's happening to the top stars, if you can't make it happen now, like Ricochet has been on a prowl the last 2 months, but
In and out the ring.
it's in and out the ring, but nothing has
In
really
the bedroom,
translated
got Samantha
anywhere. Well,
Irvin.
no, yeah,
But then I
it's fun.
feel like
But
because-
he got to capitalize.
So I feel like in talking about Rico Booty real quick. But I don't have the Bluebird, so I don't know nor seen the X thing, the speed thing. But I heard they've been doing some type of tournament to crown like the speed champion
speed
thing.
champion, right?
And I think like I either think in the semifinals or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think it's
So
him and Brunson Reed or something of that
wild
nature.
shit.
Right,
But I do like the fact that I think they cultivated that for him.
right.
I think secretly they said, you know what? Let's integrate social media. We already have that best foot forward. Let's give Ricochet that shine to being that kind of like internet champion type of situation, which is very interesting.
We have Will Ospreay at home.
Right.
Ricochet.
And I'm just hoping if they do, like he gets the belt and everything of that nature, he just utilizes social media and goes like Drew is maximizing on all
I
socials.
still don't
right
believe
now.
that he's the one doing it.
No,
I think it could be him.
No,
because
he-
at first,
no.
I
He
said
said
no.
he is.
And then
I still
now
don't.
I say I think it is
I
him.
still
No,
don't. He knows, but I still see him.
literally
he knows.
know for a fact.
But
Yeah, it's
I'm
login.
still like,
Nothing like a good docs, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do.
okay, so Monday Night Raw. Raw gets the first pick on Monday. Who do we see? I said Drew. Who do you guys think?
I think I'll echo that. I'll say Drew as well.
Gunther.
Ooh,
Ah,
okay.
that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
So many niggas.
So many people.
3-hour show. Do it to you.
Mm.
Damn. Even though he's signed, I think they're gonna pull an okey doke Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I actually would prefer him on Raw.
Yeah,
I
would
feel like
prefer him on Raw, but he signed to SmackDown.
I feel like
now
SmackDown.
this makes me wonder: is he also eligible? Like Jade signed with SmackDown, they did a whole thing. If it's now a draft thing, that kind of nullifies the whole kind.
I think they still eligible.
Yeah, because when they made the appearances and stuff like that.
But also too, they may just not even touch certain people because of them signing. So like we may not see Braun Breaker or G get drafted because they've already, have an establishment on SmackDown.
They work a storyline between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis.
Listen, I just want, and this is just my want, Survivor Series, traditional, Raw versus SmackDown, but Adam Pearce being captain and actually wrestling, and my best friend Nick Aldis actually being the captain and actually wrestling.
Great suits, by the way. Nick Aldis is clean.
Literally, that's it. Listen, I don't act so much in wrestling
because he follows us. So
but this is my best friend.
Same one that got WWE to get
my bestie Nick Aldis.
I agree 110%.
Needs to showcase.
Like honestly,
I've been saying this for months.
But
they have to bring back the true
traditional
brand split, because back in 2003, when you had Team Brock, Team Angle, then 2005, when you had that 3-year span where Randy Orton was the sole survivor and Raw kept coming out on top, and then ultimately when he was representing SmackDown, it meant something. Like there was literal tribalism between both shows. You could watch Raw and SmackDown, but I'm a SmackDown guy. I'm a Raw guy. So if you can now have the draft mean something, and when somebody shows up on the other show, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? That's what that brings back the joy of Survivor Series. I think Survivor Series used to be, in my opinion,
it's my favorite.
Survivor Series was number 3, number 2, depending what Rumble, how you felt about it.
Yeah.
Right? Now Survivor Series, for all intents and purposes, has been last on the totem pole. They try to incorporate war games and stuff. And even now, it's
what's crazy though? I feel like the War Games gimmick definitely hit harder on NXT.
It did.
For me, because that was the first time, like I did a 24-hour trip to Chicago when War Games, when Kevin Owens was in it, Tommaso Ciampa was in it, it was Undisputed Era. I literally flew to Chicago, met Undertaker, went to War Games because it was Dusty's creation and I wanted to experience that. And then I flew back to New York because we had the viewing party for Survivor Series. I literally did that. And for me, NXT, I don't know if it was because of the stories that headed into that War Games particularly, but I always felt like NXT's War Games, I felt like hit a little bit more than when it came in main roster.
Because the story required that kind of payoff. Now, because it's Survivor Series War Games and War Games is coming, it almost becomes a throwaway kind of match. Like Hell in a Cell. If you have a pay-per-view or PLE,
I'm glad they got rid of that shit.
I'm so happy to get Money in the Bank still. I'd rather it be at
WrestleMania.
Rather have just a ladder match.
I thought they were going to do that this year. For it being the 40th, I thought they were going to do that.
The issue is, you know why War Games makes so much sense in NXT? Is they had Undisputed Era.
Right.
You had a dominant
factions.
A faction that was like, dang, we need to take these people down. And not only that, what made it so unique is all of them had individual storylines.
Exactly.
And when they came together, they got all these people like, yo, Rodney, I was beefing with this dude. Adam Cole was beefing with that dude. And then when they took out that dominant faction and started putting random people together, oh, hey, girl, let's make a storyline. We got 5 War Games. No, reason why the bloodline makes sense because there was a story. You invest into this group. And you saw Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn look like, damn, what's going to happen at the end?
Right.
It was investment.
Even this, I do think this year's though investment was better because you had the whole Damage Control.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say
the
that.
girls, and then you had the bloodline going against all the niggas.
Okay,
right.
But
in all honesty, Trump's
what he said though.
Phil's return.
Yeah,
right.
Trump
It has to be legitimate and it has to feel organic.
But that goes back to the tribalism.
Right.
It's like, okay, are we both beef? Like, you guys are all saying the same thing. Where it's like, what's the point of this?
I like that question. Shout out to Maurice. I like that question. Speaking of brand split, do y'all think
100%.
they should bring back
100%.
branded exclusive PLEs? I do.
Because if you have
like
it branded, right? Because you're gonna have a PLE every month.
Not the big 5.
No.
Right.
But like if Backlash was a SmackDown exclusive PLE, I wouldn't mind it.
I say no because we're at a point
on the business side.
Yes.
Right.
because I have big stars on Raw.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna put them on my PLE so I can pay for it. And then we're also talking about tribalism.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a SmackDown PLE. I'm not really gonna watch that.
But
Which it goes against, I think, what they've been trying to present, which is literally
Jesus
3
Christ,
brands.
232. Damn.
Shout out to everyone watching on the live. Appreciate you.
Wow.
300 episode. We making
We over
making
300.
history here.
But
But no,
Just little Adonis.
I think that the biggest thing is they've been able to make a statement saying like we have 3
Yeah.
solid brands.
Right.
And in order to showcase that, it does need to still be
Because-
like a combination of all of the somehow
you know what they need to
them
do?
together.
Because similar to NXT, right? They do have exclusive PLEs, but they call it as special episodes. So
yeah, like
that's
the
the
spring
case.
breaking, like
Right,
that's going on.
spring
Let's
break,
see.
switch it up a little bit. On
Mhm.
SmackDown, you know what? It's gonna be special edition SmackDown. It's gonna be War Games SmackDown. Oh shoot, the main event
If
gonna
they
be War
did
Games.
Because
branded
now you make
episodes.
television
Must
so
see.
important. Like I think that's when AEW had first started. And they only had like 4 pay-per-views or whatever.
Television
I
was
just love that you
Dynamite
have
was
to
a
tune
must.
in.
Yeah, because if
So
you didn't,
if
you was
they
lost.
did that, because when you have so much PLEs, it almost becomes oversaturated to
Yeah.
where we've been. There was a period of time where we kept seeing the same matches and there was no kind of payoff. Like you've been feuding for 4 consecutive PLEs. It's still normal matches. There's no hardcore. There's no nothing.
But
So
that's what it is. So I think they cut down the PLEs.
right.
I think they're down to 10 now.
Mhm.
I think they're not doing one every month. I'm supposedly.
Well, I feel like
So that's one.
well, no, because May got 2.
So
But see, and then they're transitioning into the big 5 being United States centric, and the other ones being more
agree.
international. Because I'm
right.
sitting here like,
I
wait,
agree.
May has Backlash, and it has the Saudi one, the King and Queen of the Ring. That's at the end of May.
Right.
It's low key not
But that's what I'm.
And they
I
better
get that
right
part.
this
Oh,
time
but
around.
all right.
Yo,
I learned
when
why they
Gunther-
doing it though, because it's all about the 24-hour number. It's because it looks good. Like for the first 24 hours, when they do an event overseas, that numbers look fucking great. Because you may watch it at let's say the event started like 7 a.m. You're gonna watch it live.
Bro, I
You
was up
understand?
at 5 a.m.
Right.
when
So
that
like how
bitch was in
chamber,
Australia.
what's in this room is the three of y'all may watch it live, right? I may watch
At
it
7
after
p.m.
work. Yeah, like I may watch it at 7 p.m. at night, and then y'all might watch it 2 or 3 times within that 24-hour span.
Right.
Don't forget the overflow from yesterday, from the
Yeah,
tomorrow,
no,
stuff
Right.
like that.
It's so right now they're trying to make as much money as they possibly
Yeah, these
Mhm.
niggas is hustling.
So there's this podcast I listen to called Wrestling with Voices
Shout outs to them.
or Wrestling Voices, whatever. I think that's what it's called. But they had a special episode talking about WWE TV deals. These niggas is sharks.
Yeah.
Where Nick Khan, the guy used this example, and it's a phenomenal example. He's like, Nick Khan is an alpha hustler that came into a circus and dominated. And the reason why I mention this is because of the mere fact them doing shows overseas and you talking about this 24-hour thing, they're making the product look 10 times better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't go ahead with the half PLEs where it's half SmackDown, half Raw. You want all your stars, especially the fact you got so many stars at this point.
Right.
Superstars.
Yeah, like it's just incredible.
And one thing that they did that was smart, they're allowed to be called wrestlers.
Yeah. They didn't
Because
switch it back.
Not only that, is you notice that they do a lot of Olympic shit.
Mhm.
Hey, we got gold medalists right here. So bringing back what you said on
They're gonna
JD's
play
show,
into it this summer
right?
too.
Oh
What you say
shit,
about
Cody in
JD,
that fucking
right?
Paris commercial.
Everybody
kills
got
me.
upset because Chad Gable, even including myself, didn't win it
You got
until my brother said something. Why do I want to root for a fucking loser? This man got his ass whooped time after time after time. Now I'm a fan. I'm tight with him. You feel me? Yes. Whoop his ass after this match. Yes. Embarrass him in front of his mother. So now when he actually wins that, imagine going overseas with the title.
Ooh, the Heat?
And the Heat. Or might be Bret Hartland. They're gonna cheer for me overseas each and every time, though, son. Good, because guess what? Just like Floyd, you may hate me, you may love me, but you pay the same exact commission to watch me lose. So having Chad Gable, having all these Olympics, you feel me, though, son? Having all these young athletes around. Hey, he might be Olympics. That other Olympics, yeah, he might not be good for the wrestling sense, but as far as the broader sense, we got another gold medalist.
It's a beautiful.
It's an interesting time.
I want to see what each company does.
Facts,
because I like to see where the money going. I pocket watch.
Yeah.
Yo, first of all, I can tell you off rip that WWE putting that money in production.
But it's also smart 100%. The reason why that says so easy for them to get a lot of money is because, yo, it's good. Like if I'm him, you play it this way.
We got to wrap.
Oh, let me do quick. You're not paying nothing. All you do is paying upfront for everything because I'm paying for productions. I'm paying for the movie events. I'm doing all of this. So people saying that wrestling is making too much money. No, because upfront to pay for this, and I have to do nothing.
Niggas don't even know the upfront cost.
This is literally a turnkey business. I don't have to do shit. All I gotta do is say that, hey man, you shouldn't
20 mil to show your stuff.
So yeah, and I think that's a big part.
All I gotta do is like just be there, help you get advertising, and that's it. I don't have to be in the board meetings. I have no decisions to make. Wrestling is a good place.
So you kind of got to give Tony Khan both
Tonys.
You got to give Tony Khan a little bit of like credit because they're making some type of money,
right?
Yeah.
So let's finish this off with two things. I want to finish on a sad note, but I also want to finish on a good note.
On a high note.
The sad note is we lost somebody very special within the wrestling community. He is the creator of We Are Wrestling. We love wrestling, my bad. We love wrestling. And it was a major loss. And the reason why is because what he did behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
We love wrestling. There's one time I was at a show. I pulled up on him. I was like, yo, Terry, you are the epitome of unsigned hype of wrestling.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, because he would find talent all over the country and talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be talent that like who are 3 years out from getting signed to like a big promotion, but he would know about them.
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy that was doing the legwork to showcase talent who weren't getting showcased, especially Black women and Black wrestlers in this industry.
Yeah, he was like, and it's crazy talking about him in a past tense, but he definitely was able to be kind of like, you know, when the source does like freshman 15,
Mm-hmm.
like Terry found the way to whoever he touched and interviewed on the independent scene, especially made sure that they were getting noticed. Like I wouldn't have known Queen Aminata if it wasn't for Terry. And even seeing him the last time that I saw him, was at Ashe when he came around the corner. I said, Terry, what the hell? I said, hey. Mm-hmm. And you know, and that's why I said I will always remember that, because like if you knew Terry was definitely like, you got a temperature check real quick. You got to know who you're dealing with. But Terry was so loving and so opening, you know, his arms, you know, with us. Even my biggest memory, and we talked about Jobber Slam, was that nigga drove from Indiana to come to Jobber Slam 1. Like when I looked up and I saw him there with Earl and them, and I was just saying like, Terry, how'd you get here? He's like, I drove. Like Terry was good for getting in his car, driving 10, 12 hours, no matter what it was, to go and support independent wrestling, to go and support Black and brown people in professional wrestling. So that's the memory that I'm gonna hold on to, because like that's what this is all about.
He gave us our first interview.
Yeah.
So the first time somebody interviewing us.
Yeah.
And the three of us all together.
Yeah, that doesn't happen much.
That doesn't happen much.
So we just have to mention him because on this 300th episode, he is a small part, but still a part of us getting here.
Mm-hmm. He's a part of the puzzle piece.
Yeah.
To us getting the 300.
And what he did this for us without wanting anything in return.
Never ask for nothing in return. So I do ask everyone to make sure to follow We Love Wrestling, to please make sure to keep his honor and keep his memory alive in doing that. I do believe that out of honoring the family of Terry Davis, that they've asked, everyone that's known him, love him, they want to do a special balloon release tomorrow, 4:20 Eastern Standard Time. So in Carolina Blue, because that was his fave. So we do ask anybody that wants to honor him, please make sure to record your balloon release and post it, because at the end of the day, I always tell people, fuck all this media shit. Like I 300 is a blessing, and it's not to negate that, but all this shit can go away. And the fact that we all can still be sitting here as a family in wrestling, that's what matters. And a big part of that shining light has been dimmed because of because of losing him. So we do want to honor him, and we do want to dedicate this 300th episode to Terry Davis. We love wrestling. You love wrestling. We all love wrestling. So I do want to leave that on that note. I do want to thank Chisel Adonis. We didn't every day is Black History Month. Yeah. So it didn't matter. He didn't come in February. He's here now. So we do want to thank him. Please make sure, let everyone know what you got coming up real quick.
Yes. I appreciate being here again for the special 300.
He didn't even know. He was like, I thought it was 297. I said, nah, nigga, it's 300.
I didn't even know we're that close, but hey, 300. I'm glad to be here. You can check me out across all social media platforms at Chiseled Adonis, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere you can find anything on socials. I am there.
There you go. This Sunday, Battle Club Pro, we are back. First time in 2024. Make sure to come out, support Sunday. Bell times at 3. Tickets are still on sale today online, but you can purchase tickets at the door. We got champion versus champion. We got a bunch of coaches going against coaches. We got Lala versus Carter. The match to see, first time ever, didn't even know, but it was the first match that I told Ray last night. It was the first match that we put on paper for this show. So I'm super excited to see what they do. All matches are intergender. We wanted to be able to showcase all and every talent. Masha going against Prince Ahmed. We got Mike Law in the building. We got Savannah Evans, Impact's own, going against Steve Pena. So we got a hard-hitting card, so make sure to come out and support this Sunday. Tonight, if you are up in the Bronx, go and make sure to catch We Are Wrestling. Shout out to Peter Rosado and the team up there. Where we have Anthony Gamble going against Lucas Chase in a dog collar match. We got some other tag teams, Riz and Nancy. Shout out to Chris Barton coming back after 7 months. We got Prolific in the building. We got Thickums and going against some baseball niggas. That's interesting. Shout out to Mike and Dave's gonna be there. Shout out to the rep. But shout out to Peter Rosado and all the hard work he put into giving us Le Que Paso. Make sure that if tickets are on sale at the door, so make sure they're going to support him up in the Bronx. Once again, thank you to everyone that joined us this afternoon, this morning, this evening, wherever you may be watching. Shout out to the Wrestling Classic in the building. Love you to bunches. Make sure to continue to follow us. Let's see if we get to another 300, guys. I don't know, but we're going to try. Thank you, everyone that has supported us from episode 0 to episode 300. Once again, would not be any of this without you guys. So we thank you guys for joining us this Friday. Until next time, I am Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and I was here with the niggas. Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. # Black. Oh, your ass in the camera. # Black Excellence. # we are out.
Can you take a picture of